Do you go off on tangents and lose the plot when you speak? Maybe people say, summarize, stick to the point, be concise. And you promise yourself, this time you will. But when you're in the moment, in the meeting, on the panel discussion, on the podcast, it happens again. You talk too much and you lose opportunities. I've interviewed thousands of leaders, experts, executives, CEOs, and I've trained hundreds, and this happens a lot. What if I told you that there are 3 things you can do that'll root you in exactly what to say so you don't ramble? If you know you want this, you need this, then click on the link below the video and let's move you from, oh, you've lost me to, you've got me. Number 1, have you ever been bowling with beginners and used bumpers to help them? You know, those barriers that come up so that the ball doesn't veer off into the gutter. Well, it's the same when you communicate. You need something to help you from veering off course. When I work with executives, founders, leaders, say we're doing media training, the assumption is it's all about what to say, but you know, it's equally about what not to say. Sometimes there's a problem or a political thing or something that you don't want people to know, so you don't go there. But it's not just that. It's also about not diverting attention from the thing that you want people to take away from the interaction, the call to action, the idea, the thought that you're planting in that person's head. You need guardrails or boundaries to keep you in your speaking lane. And this is step number 1. You want to define exactly what it is that you want to talk about, keep it in here, and what you are not going to talk about. But you know what? There's a step before this if you want to get results from your interaction. Step number 2. Let's play a game. I'm going to say someone's name and I want you to shout out the first thing that comes to mind, what they're known for. Like this. I say Charlie Chaplin, for example, and you say comedy or slapstick. Okay? Ready? Let's go. Oprah, Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, Bob Marley, Bruce Lee. You associate them with a specific thing. Now let's talk about me. My clients associate me with communication, positioning, influence, depending on where they're at in their journey to becoming the go-to in their niche. What about you? What one word do people associate you with when they see you, when they hear your voice, read your name? Don't leave it to chance. You define it. If you want help with this, click on the link below the video. This is part of my very first step with my clients, and it's what I call you equal what. Everything you share and say should point back to this, so that you're strengthening that association. You're taking control of how people perceive you and what they know you for. And you do this by being deliberate and intentional about what you say and what you don't say. And it all comes from a very specific place within you. I call this your credible core. You're building on your credibility, knowledge, expertise. You're not diverting attention away from it. So step number 2 is define your credible core and make sure that everything you say and share points to it, not away from it. But even if you've created your guardrails, your boundaries, and you are reinforcing your credible core, it's still really easy to keep adding information and lose yourself, your train of thought, and people too. So how do you make sure you stick only to exactly what you need to? Aha, that is step number 3. Do you feel you have a lot to remember when there's something important coming up? Do your teams, the people you work with, maybe you've got a PR company or marketing, they pile on the information. There's such a lot to remember and get through. I call this a data dump, and you don't want that because it increases your stress levels and that increases the chance of you forgetting. It means that you are stuck in trying to remember mode instead of being in the moment and connecting with the person you are communicating with, which, by the way, is the most important thing for you to do. And it means that you reminisce, you reflect, you play it back in your mind, and you kick yourself because you didn't say something specific, or you didn't say something specific in a specific way. Let go of all of this and do this instead. Let's use what I'm doing here in this video as an example and make it your own. So I defined my boundary as I'm going to share how you can stop rambling and losing opportunities as a result. Now you do it. Define something you are going to speak about and what people are going to get from it. My credible core is related to communication, influence, positioning, being strategic and deliberate about how to frame yourself so that you get the opportunities that are right for you. But I'm not going to talk about all these things. I'm going to talk about one specific thing. I'm talking about, let's do it this way, a 3-step framework that'll help you, what? That'll help you stop rambling and losing opportunities as a result. Now you do it. You've defined what you want to share with people, the idea you want to plant in their head. What bit of your credible core is the thing that you're going to focus on to deliver on it? And to help me not go off on tangents, I've defined 3 different things. The boundaries that define what you want to get across, how to reinforce your credible core when you communicate, how to make it into a visual system that really helps you remember. By the way, that digging noise, if you could hear it, is my dog. She's very happy. She's always assisting me and ready to help. So these 3 connect to this, like this. Let me show you. 3, by the way, is a magic number. You don't want to have more than 3 points to remember, 3 things to talk about. So this is the core of everything, and these are the 3 things that support what I want to get across. Now I could go off and create even more layers of information. For example, client results, case studies, stats and facts, how the brain works. But I'm not going to do that for this video. Let's keep it clean and tight and only about this. But you can see how it can go off into even more information. I'm just going to let you see what I mean. And you would populate those 3 things with a supporting piece of information, stat or fact. This is my word tree. Now, every single person I've worked with loves this because it really simplifies what they want to get across and remember. And it's a visual representation of all of the information that they can just plant in their head, literally, and recall and go, oh yeah, that's connected to that. I can see how this works. As long as, and this is really important, you always make everything you say point back to your credible core. So if there was a stat, an example, a case study, a client, it all has to point back to the big point, the big idea that you want people to take away. And I'm saying this because I've seen clients take the word tree, talk about it, but then plant another word tree next to it. What I mean by that is they've delivered on that idea, but they've opened up another loop and another set of information, another idea. Don't do that, because planting more trees makes it more difficult to associate you with one specific thing. And if you want results from your interactions, you want to keep it tight and about one specific big idea, big takeaway, or as I call it, a big aha. It sounds simple, but it's actually really difficult doing this by yourself, sticking to your one-word tree and not planting others, and knowing exactly what to populate and propagate your word tree with. If you want my help with this, click on the link below the video and I will help you. But you know what? Even if you do this and you really dial in the right information, the way you speak it has to be in a specific way if you want to blow up your authority and get people to trust you just like that. Watch this video next to find out exactly how to do this, starting right now. I'll see you there. Bye.